Hey mamas, so back again for part 2 of cloth diapering basics. We already talked about just a day in the life of cloth diapering and how easy it really is. And so now what I wanted to talk about are the different kind of cloth diapers. That can seem really overwhelming, especially in the beginning of cloth diapering, and how many to start with. So first things first, it was recommended to me when we were starting out with our very first child to get 24 diapers. Usually with a newborn, you're changing diapers about once an hour. So if you think about 12 hours that baby is awake, that's about 12 diapers a day. And you want to wash your diapers every other day. So 24 is a good number to start with. And once you're on the newborn phase, you're still changing every 2 hours, give or take. So 24 is just a really good number to start with. And you can always add on if you need some more diapers later. So think about starting with 24 diapers, and then you have to kind of start to consider what kind of diaper you like. There's a lot on the market. So as I've said before, I've been diapering 7 years. I've tried quite a few different kinds of diapers, and this is just this mama's opinion on what I really loved about the diapers that I've tried and what I haven't loved so much about the diapers that I've tried. So to start out, for me, one of the main choices you'll make with diapers is, do you want microfiber or do you want a natural fabric like hemp or bamboo or just plain organic cotton? And I prefer diapers that are not microfiber, because the benefit to some people of microfiber is that baby doesn't necessarily feel wet right away. They're more like disposables in that sense. I like my babies to feel as soon as they've gone potty. And even from day one, when I change a diaper, I always say, oh, you're wet. Let's get you dry. We don't want to be wet. Because to me, that just goes ahead and sets the road up for gentle potty training later on in life. I don't want them to feel comfortable in a wet diaper. So for me, I will always consider the microfiber a con, but some people consider it a plus. So you just have to take it for what you're looking for. So let's start out with the very first diaper that we tried. And this is what I got 24 of with my first son. They were the only diapers that I even knew existed at the time. And that is the Bum Genius Free Times. The Free Times are all in one diaper. You can see the liners are sewn into the diaper cover. Now, the pros of this diaper are that they're all together. You don't have to try and find a liner and a cover at one time. They're stuck together. It is also a one-size-fits-all diaper. See, when it's all snapped up like that, it can fit a small baby. And then you can unsnap it, and you can fit a larger baby. So those are the pros of this diaper. It is a microfiber diaper, so you have to decide if that's a pro or a con for you. Okay, back again after tending to a little bike crash. I have given up on doing this in one take. So the cons of the Bum Genius Free Times to me are that they are microfiber. I also felt that they are much more difficult to get clean because they were all sewn into one piece. Just left less room for the water to get around and swish around it. Because it is all one size fits all, I found it very bulky, especially on a little one. Not so much once you're into a toddler, but when you have a really small one, it can be very bulky between their legs. So I'm going to show y'all this picture. This is my first baby. He's almost 7 now. But this is him in one of those Free Times. It might even be the same one I was holding. But you can see just how big it was between his legs, because it is an all-in-one, and that was just very bulky. You also find with the all-in-ones that because they have all that extra fabric, that they can gape around the bottom and the legs. Nothing crazy, nothing terrible. But if you have especially a number 2 that's already kind of liquidy and might be one of those that's going to leak, it's definitely going to leak with these. Whereas it may not with some of the others. So the next diaper to show you guys looks about the same. It is a Bum Genius pocket diaper. You can see that it has the snaps to be an all one size, and it is just like it says, it's a pocket, and then you get these little stuffers to put inside of it. And each one came with a little newborn stuffer, which was obviously small and thin, and then a regular size stuffer. And I liked those better than the Free Time because they could be stuffed down smaller, so the bulkiness was not so much of an issue. But again, with the one size fits all, there could still be some gappiness at the legs. What I love these diapers for is nighttime. Look at how many stuffers. There are 3 stuffers in this bad boy. My boys have always been very heavy nighttime wetters, and so I keep these for the purpose of heavily stuffing them at night. And then I don't have to change their diaper at night. They can go from bedtime to morning, no problem. Now, with both the Free Times and the pockets, I found that they could not be folded down far enough to accommodate a newborn's cord. So they are a diaper to consider if you either have newborn diapers or you're maybe planning to just do disposable until after you're past the newborn phase. I'll go into more detail about that in the newborn tips and tricks. But all in all, I really love, it doesn't have to be Bum Genius, but I do love having a pocket diaper that can be heavily stuffed for nighttime. I do know some mamas that stuff their diapers like this all the time so that they can go more like 4 to 6 hours between diaper changes. That is not something that I personally like doing, but that is what some mamas do. So next type of diapers are the pre-folds. This is the little newborn pre-fold. I'll go up to the infant size, and then we go up to, I guess, like the young toddler size. My kids usually move into these about a year-old. These are all organic cotton. They are typically about 2 layers on the side and 3 to 4 layers in the middle, so they're a little thicker. And there's 2 ways you can use these. You can either put them on kind of like the classic diaper style. I've got my little bear here, and the little thing holding it on is called a snappy, and it works kind of like pins but without pins. So this is really great. You can put a baby in this, and if you're at home and they're not wearing pants, they don't even need a cover, because you'll just feel that it's wet on the outside or see that it's wet, and you just don't even have to use a cover with it. Or you can put them on with a cover for just regular diapering purposes. Now, if I'm using a cover, I'm not going to go through the effort of putting it on with the snappy. You can just fold it like a rectangle, lay it in the center of your cover, and snap it on, and it's ready to go. So these come in sizes. I consider that a pro. Some people consider that a con, because you do have to buy different size diapers, but they're less expensive. And sorry guys, they're less expensive because you do have to buy more of them, but they fit better because they're not a one size fits all, so you don't have those weird rolly parts. Now, I was gifted newborn pre-folds, and I use them. They're great. If I was going to buy them again, then one cool trick is if you take your infant-sized pre-folds, let's see, get out here, and instead of folding it long ways, like you would to put it in a diaper, you fold it wide ways. It is now the same length as your newborn diaper. And if you were to be putting it on like I had it on Mr. Bear, then you just fold the front flap down just a little bit, and it's the same size as your newborn diaper. So I would personally not invest in newborn pre-folds. but they're nice if you want them. They're not a big deal. So those are regular pre-folds. And these are fitted pre-folds. I have both a hemp one and a cotton one. And the pros to these guys are, they snap on just like a diaper. They're really great for little ones running around the house. I use these a lot when I'm potty training because baby can feel that he's wet. I can see that he's wet. He can undo the snaps himself, but he's not peeing puddles on the floor like when he's wearing underwear. So I really like these for these purpose. But the con to these is I feel like by the time I have these gussets going around their legs, and then I have the gussets of the cover going over their legs for like wearing out of the house, that it just gets to be a lot of constriction around their legs, and they end up with those little red marks, and I just don't really care for them when I'm having to use a cover with them. So the other kind of liners I have that are not the pre-folds, but they're just these little liners. So this one's a microfiber one. Pull that out where you can see it. And then this one is the same liner, but it's the hemp one. And these are best bottom liners. I like that they have the contour for the leg, so they're not quite so bulky. They also have these neat little snaps that snap into the best bottoms diaper covers, because sometimes you can get a little bit of sag in the front. I've never really had that be much of a problem, but some babies it is. Different babies fit different diapers different ways. So these are nice. I like them. I certainly use them. I usually use them after I've already used up all my pre-folds, because I just am partial to my pre-folds. So those are all the different liners that I've tried. And really, whatever brand it is not nearly as important. So these are covers now, because if you're using a pre-fold or a liner like those that I showed, then you're going to have covers. And a lot of people will say, you don't have to change your cover after every tinkle diaper. You only have to change it after stinky diapers or if it's starting to get wet. I know that to be true, but I prefer to change my covers after each diaper change. So I feel the need to have the same amount of covers as I do liners, whereas some people would say you only need about half as many covers to liner ratio. So my two favorite covers that I'll show you are the Rumparoos, and they're just a little polyester cover. They're one size fits all. And the Best Bottoms. And about the only difference between the two is that Best Bottoms has a single row of snaps, and Rumparoos has a double row of snaps. And to be totally honest, about the only thing I would say that makes me go, oh, I prefer one over the other, I really like them just about the same, is with one of my babies who was just a bigger boy. By the time he was in toddlerhood, I felt like the Best Bottoms single snaps just didn't fit him really well. They were really a little too snug on him. But he's one of those that's like a 99th percentile type kid. So really, I like those covers about equally. They're both really awesome. The other two covers that I have are the Thirsties. And they don't all come in Velcro, but all the ones I have are in Velcro. And I just really don't prefer Velcro. I feel like it rubs the baby's bellies. It, after a while, can start to come loose from the diapers. It gets, lint and hair and all that stuff in it. And so all my Velcro covers I've had are really my bottom of the barrel, last ones I'm going to reach for covers, because they're just not my favorites. And lastly, the Genoa covers. The Genoas are a little different because they are a fabric cover on the outside. They have all these little adorable patterns. They're very collectible, I believe. They also snap backwards. So instead of having snaps on the front, they snap towards the back. And they come in sizes, so you have to get the appropriate size for your baby. And I have just never ever had good luck with these. I've tried quite a few of them because they were just so cute. And they always, as soon as my child would wet, the whole front of the cover would be wet. I called Gen Y. They gave me a couple things to try that didn't work. And eventually they just said, well, you know what? Sometimes it just doesn't work on all babies. We've had this problem before, especially with boys because they wet so heavy to the front that they just don't work for everyone. And we were definitely in the category of Gen Y just did not work for us. I probably would never purchase Gen Y diapers again. But the benefit to me of all the covers and pre-folds. So this is what I would do if I could buy my diaper stash all over again, just picking my favorites, is I would buy cotton pre-folds, like the ones I showed you with the snappy and everything. And I would buy a mix of Best Bottom and the Rumparoos covers. What I love about the pre-fold and cover concept is that you don't have the bulkiness of the liner at the edge. So these gussets actually go right up to baby's leg and bottom. And you're just much less likely to have a poopy blowout in those kinds of diapers. I love with the pre-folds that you can use the snappies and that can hold the diaper on and you just don't even have to have a cover if you're at home. This is actually what I do with my newborns because I do a 6-week confinement where I don't leave the house. So for 6 weeks, all my babies wear are pre-folds with snappies on them and they don't have to use a cover and they can get that airflow and I can tell the minute that they're wet. And then once they're older, we do have the covers and the covers just to me keep everything in a lot better. They fit more children. I have one tall and skinny, I have one husky built, and I have one that is just a teeny tiny little peanut on the growth scale. And the pre-folds and covers have fit all 3 body types magnificently because all babies are shaped different ways and the one-size-fits-all diapers just don't usually fit all sizes. I don't mind the one-size-fits-all covers because they're so thin that that little bit of folded fabric really doesn't make a difference there. So if I could diaper all over again, I would be getting the organic cotton pre-folds and I would be getting the Best Bottoms and Rumparoos covers. So that's just this mama's 2 cents. And I hope that was helpful for people. I hope it wasn't more confusing. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. Just let me know. And stay tuned for part 3 of newborn diapering tips and tricks.